Previously, I did a very long workflow video, which was kind of going end to end using the tool, and now I'm just going to give you a quick rundown through of the 1.3 features and updates, just to keep it short if you already know the workflow basically. So I've got my demo videos here. I'm just going to delete everything that I've extracted, just so we start from scratch. As I mentioned previously, we've got language support and that has tooltips, so if you hover over anything and you need to understand it better, it should give you a better explanation there. I've also added support in for using images on their own, so I can show you this if I just drag this video on, and I'm just going to extract 10 frames from it. When you hit extract, it's basically extracting the frames based on this interval, so that's one frame every 1 second. Set it to 2, it's 1 frame every 2 seconds. If you click on add max frames, that will look at the duration and the interval you've marked here, and it will put the total number of frames that you extract over the time frame. So the workflow is you tend to set the duration, test that, make sure the frames aren't too far apart because it's dependent on how fast you're walking and moving, and then test that, and then come back and do the full duration of the images. So you can see I've got my frame images here. The video name is important because basically all the subfolders will get created off that, so don't rename it subsequently, and name it something sensible before you start. So if I drag these frames on, you'll see the video disappears, and that's because these 10 frames are loaded up. If I've got this single 360 image, I can drag that onto here as well, and you'll see that comes in. So that's pretty much how that's going to work. And say if we quick preview here, I can switch between different presets. Any changes I make will then split to a custom mode, and it will remember that each session, which is really useful. So if we hit cubic map, I can just hit the split down here, and then that will create another subfolder called split. And you'll see that's the cubic map version. That's the cross. We've got a strip version as well. You can also save the individual frames here, which is quite useful, just if you need to access those. So those will be the maximum resolution that's kind of allowed from the video. Won't exceed that. So let me take you through the vertical masking. So that's the next sort of thing we've added in. This is quite useful to look at. I'm just going to extract this now. So in this test, I basically took the camera level and then raised it to a vertical position. So you'll see it changes that kind of perspective of where I am during that raise. Usually you want to mask out yourself. So essentially, sorry, for the raising, you'll get to a point where you'll go underneath, and then you need to use the bottom mask really to get rid of it. If you turn on, we've got a preset for a quick vertical mask here, and this one just happens in the right place. It's pretty easy to use. You can basically change the width of it and the height here to make sure that it's obscured. You can drag along the timeline and just check whether it's covering you up. Of course, this one is deliberately not going to do that because I want to illustrate that. In this particular case, I could turn on the bottom mask, increase that, and overlap them that way. But I'm losing a lot of data here that I don't necessarily want to. Everything is conforming to the on buttons now. So when you switch between things, it will say on the vertical mask, turn it on. If this one turns off the vertical mask. So like I said, that's been updated and fixed, which is quite useful. Let me just show you what this will look like if we extract it for splitting. So basically just do split all images, and this will create a subfolder, and then you can see the mask has been added in here, and is based on that square but then projected out to a spherical map essentially. Another edge case that sort of came out through my testing was sometimes when you're exporting videos. So this again, I'll just 10 frames. sometimes when you export out the video, it'll put you either side of it, like the split is on the wraparound joint basically. So what we can do is move this all the way over, and it's going to wrap around on that side. So if I split these ones out, that is now working, and will map across where those splits are. And so that's another really useful technique for the vertical masking, for when you're filming yourself or keeping it level. You can raise it a little bit. I would do some of your own tests and just see how it works out. The other feature that we added in is split selected frames only. So in this particular mode, you can hover over it for the tooltip. This is going. So you can see it gives you how that works, but if I switch this to CUBEMAP, just to use this as the testing, what I can do is if I check this on, I then have access to here, and you can do it even this simply, and it will parse those numbers down. So if I did 1, 2, 5 and then split these, you'll see I get frame 1, 2 and 5, or I could do 5 to 10 or something like that, or you can use the full padding as well. Split these, then this frame should start off. So I'll put everything into a playlist for these videos so you can see the other tools, because there's lots of other bits of information there that can be quite useful. But this is the 1.3 update. I hope you find it useful. Please add any bugs or feature requests into the comments of the videos, and I'll pick them up when I can.